Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Monday, August 7th, 2023. Stand up for your country. Well, I hope you read my column that I filed yesterday on BillO'Reilly.com about the collapse of the media in America and its ramifications for voters, those who participate in our democracy. Now, the press has always wanted to be a kingmaker, going all the way back to John Adams versus Thomas Jefferson. And for a while there, the press, the media did forge presidents into office, JFK being the best example of that. But today, it's a totally different story as the press is disintegrating. And the best example of this is Donald Trump, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So, once again, Trump is dominating American politics, this time in the criminal justice system. He has been charged with 77 felony counts. Did you know that? 77. I had to add them up this morning. All right. That's in the January 6th case, in the classified documents case, and the New York City situation with far left guy, DA Alvin Bragg. Next up is Georgia, and he's going to be charged with felony interference in the election there, the presidential election. So this is way out of control. I mean, you don't file 77 felony charges, you just file it down. Okay? I mean, but this is all to demonstrate what a rogue and how out of control Donald Trump allegedly was. Okay? So what's interesting about this is all generated by Democrats. Every single charge. Merrick Garland's the Attorney General. He appoints a special prosecutor, Jack Smith. Smith is a Democrat. Bragg is a Democrat. The Fulton County DA in Georgia is a Democrat. It's all the other party doing this. No independent investigations at all. Very important. Because in the long run, it's going to go to the Supreme Court. None of these investigations were independent. None of them. The fix was in. That is not to say that Donald Trump is not guilty. Clearly, he should have returned the documents he kept at Mar-a-Lago to the National Archives when they requested that. Should have done it that day. Clearly. On January 6th, the important thing here is there's no mention of him promoting insurrection. Remember, that was the second impeachment. No mention of it in Smith's indictments. So he didn't promote insurrection or have anything to do with the Capitol attack, according to the special prosecutor. What he allegedly did do was foment unrest in this country because he said the election was a fraud. And Smith says he can prove that Trump knew what he was saying was false. I don't believe he can prove that because I talk to Trump all the time. He has never wavered in one of my conversations with him. He believes the election was rigged because that's what he wants to believe. He comes back to that once again. Read my message of the day. Biden's doing the same thing on the Hunter front. Same exact thing. Okay. Now, moving forward, all of this stuff is going to evolve in one way or another. And federal courts are going to be involved. The first thing is moving the venue on January 6th out of Washington, D.C., where Trump can't possibly get a fair trial. The judge is a Democrat who has made anti-Trump statements. You can't. Now, the Trump lawyers are going to file for a change of venue. If that's turned down, then it goes to the appellate federal division and on and on and on, up to the Supreme Court, if they hear it. And the same thing's going to happen in Mar-a-Lago, although that's a much clearer cut case than the January 6th thing. Now, Trump himself should be letting his lawyers litigate this, but he isn't because he can't constrain himself. Roll the tape.
The prosecutor in the case, I will call it our case, is a thug. I've named him Deranged Jack Smith. His record is absolutely atrocious. He does political hit jobs. He's a raging and uncontrolled Trump hater, as is his wife.
Now, why is the former president doing that? All his supporters already know that or believe that. All right, the press is just going to paint him as an out-of-control renegade nut. And the rest of America, if you don't know the two sides and the battle lines by now, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So I don't know why Donald Trump is doing that. Let surrogates do that. Doesn't do you any good. A lot of that tape's going to be played in the courtroom in front of the jury. And remember, the jury are all going to have to be morons. They're all going to have to be people who have no blanket idea what's happening in this country with Trump or anybody else. Okay. Now, one more thing in the memo. As I wrote yesterday, and again, I really hope you read the column, it's called FYI on BillO'Reilly.com. The press has lost credibility, it's lost power, it's lost readers, it's lost viewers. I give you the stats. There's no doubt about it. There's no two sides to the story. Which is why you're watching and listening to me, a totally independent news agency. Because you can't trust the corporate news agencies. They will not tell you the truth. An example, CNN on Friday, 3 days ago, ran this clip. Go.
So he had said something to the effect of, I don't want people to know we lost, Mark. This is embarrassing. Figure it out. We need to figure it out. I don't want people to know that we lost.
Okay, that woman is Cassidy Hutchinson, who has already been discredited. She hates Donald Trump. She worked in the White House for a short time. She's the one who said Trump was sitting in the back of the presidential limo and lunged at a Secret Service guy who was driving the car, which is physically impossible to do. That's who that was. Yet CNN knows she's a Trump hater. This is hearsay. That tape was leaked by a Democrat on one of the House committees to CNN, yet they ran it anyway. Okay, come on, you know. So let's just recap here. The whole country's in turmoil. America's in turmoil. We've been laughed at by our enemies in Russia and China and Iran. We may have a presidential election featuring two guys under indictment. I mean, I don't think Joe Biden's going to make it, but Trump isn't going to resign. He'll be there. And he will very well win the Republican primary. And that's the memo. Now, this week, in fact, I think it's tomorrow, August 8th, Richard Nixon resigned the presidency. Go.
I have never been a quitter. To leave office before my term is completed is abhorrent to every instinct in my body. But as president, I must put the interests of America first.
So he had to leave, Nixon, because he was going to be impeached and convicted, all right, in the Watergate mess. He was going to be impeached and convicted there. He knew it. And that if he didn't leave, he would have been charged with crimes because the tapes in the White House clearly demonstrated that Nixon was part of the cover-up of the Watergate affair. And if you don't know what the Watergate affair is, I'm not going to waste everybody's time going back on it, but it was a crime. It was a campaign crime. Okay. And he didn't order it, but when he found out about it, he tried to cover it up and get money for the guys who were arrested and on and on. So Nixon knew he was toast. He also knew that Gerald Ford was going to be vice president because Agnew, his original vice president, he had to leave because he was convicted of bribery, Agnew. So he was booted, and then Gerald Ford became vice president. Ford was the Speaker of the House. Okay, and so that's the stair step. But Nixon knew Ford was going to pardon him before any criminal charges could be brought, and it's exactly what happened. Bill O'Reilly here for Lone Star Transfer. If booking your timeshare has been difficult in the past, you know it's been almost impossible lately. Most clients are shocked to learn that their timeshare is now available to the public, severely limiting booking options. Many owners are upset their yearly dues have nearly doubled during this maintenance fee season. For well over a decade, this family-owned company has had the pleasure of helping more than 18,000 owners legally and permanently get out of their timeshare fees. With an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau and more than 900 5-star testimonials, Lone Star Transfer is a company you can trust. Lone Star Transfer guarantees the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. So please call my friends today for a free, no-obligation consultation at 855-551-7066, 855-551-7066, or online at lonestartransfer.com. Okay, let's get to the mail. Zeke, Concierge Member, please check that out. We've had a surge in Concierge Members on BillO'Reilly.com. It is an insurance policy for your life. We have power here. We can help you. Think about it. Doesn't cost much. Get free books and discounts. Why everybody doesn't do this? I wish I had this opportunity. All right, Zeke says, it's obvious the goal of all these hearings about the Biden family's impeachment. My question, if the findings occurred while Joe Biden was vice president, what's the justification for impeachment? Because he lied about it as president. Simple as that. And if he ever took bribes, that's not established, but if he ever did, it doesn't matter whether he was vice president or a private citizen. Bill Forrest, Woodbridge, Virginia. Politicians lying is now a criminal offense. As the left says, they're going to have to get more paddy wagons rolling out of Washington, D.C. Paddy wagon is a slur, but I don't mind. Paddy wagon came out of New York because on the weekend, so many Irish were drunk in the streets. This is at the turn of the 20th century. That they had to load them into wagons and take them to jail so they could sleep it off. The wagons were named Paddy. Paddy wagons. You say that now. The woke people wouldn't care about Irish stuff. Nah, they don't care. George Luna, Berkeley Heights, New Jersey. On multiple occasions, you've suggested that Michelle Obama would be a viable presidential candidate. Why? She has no political experience. It's not about that. Donald Trump had no political experience. About popularity, George. Lowell Lee, Schweizwig, Iowa. It's time to get folks off the Trump bandwagon. He's obviously dishonest and a very divisive person. We do not need him to be our next presidential candidate. Well, Lowell, I mean, our is a primary. Republican voters want him, they'll get him. But I respect your point of view. I'm not challenging a point of view, but it's a lot more than you. Susan Clemens Calione, Gwinnett County, Georgia. Button Gwinnett signed the Declaration of Independence. That's Gwinnett County. Assuming, as you said, O'Reilly, SCOTUS will be involved with President Trump's case, does the progressive left have enough time to pack the court? They're not going to pack the court. All right, the Supreme Court has already signaled that they're not letting Congress dictate who's sitting on that bench. That's not happening. Rodney Mabe, Carthage, North Carolina. Bill, I know it's been news, the only one that brings up the Mark Zuckerberg donation of $480 million to the 2020 election. I don't understand why other news agencies have not reported that, because Biden won and that money was used to help Biden. It's $400 million, not $480. But, the left news agencies, they wanted Biden to win, and if Zuckerberg could help them, they're not going to report it. Why would they do that? That would be honest. Layla White, Abingdon, Virginia. Mr. O'Reilly, I have a beauty salon. I'm a Christian conservative lady. I used to be afraid to talk about my political beliefs But now the country's going in such a bad direction, I feel it's my patriotic duty. Layla, I don't know. People come in to get their hair and they come in for if they start the discussion, then okay, but I'm not sure you want to evangelize in your beauty salon. I would not. John, Concierge Member, is a former broadcaster from the time when objectivity, honesty, and integrity were in play. I believe the news media is down to a lone voice in the wilderness, Bill O'Reilly. Well, I appreciate that, John. Let me know, you're a Concierge Member, let me know where you worked, okay? I won't tell anybody or anything like that. I'm just curious, all right? Thank you for the kind words. All right, Killing the Witches, coming up fast, September 26th. I have signed about more than 1,000 of them, hand-signed books. They're going fast, so if you want them, you got to pre-order them now. If you pre-order Killing the Witches, just a regular copy, you'll get it first. You can do it at BillO'Reilly.com, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, you know the drill. And then we have the summer reading program, rapidly the summer, but you can read these, up till Christmas, right? So Killing Crazy Horse, Killing the Killers, Killing the Legends, all bundled with a Team Normal hat. $32.95, best deal in the country right now. And don't forget that we're doing a live show on Friday, October 27th, Paramount Theater, Huntington, Long Island. It's a beautiful time to come to Long Island. The leaves are changing on the North Shore where Huntington is. This is sponsored by WABC. Sid Rosenberg will be with me. He's the morning man dominating New York City radio at this point. And you will never forget this show. So we hope to see you all there. Go to Ticketmaster, BillO'Reilly.com, or whatever you want. So, and it's selling very fast. Word of the day, not be a puzzle wit. Puzzlewit. Puzzle wit. Back with a final thought in a moment. Hey, it's time to take care of your liver. Data from the American Heart Association indicates that adults with fatty liver were 3.5 times more likely to have heart failure than those without. The American Liver Foundation says that 100 million Americans have fatty livers. These days, we throw everything at our bodies: cholesterol, alcohol, toxins, statins, cigarettes. No wonder so many of us have a sluggish, fatty liver. Your liver helps your body with hundreds of daily functions. It's time you help your liver with Liver Health Formula. Liver Health Formula is an all-natural, American-made supplement that contains 12 clinically proven botanicals to recharge and protect your liver. So try Liver Health Formula and receive a free bottle of nano-powered omega-3 to keep your heart healthy. Go to getliverhelp.com/Bill, claim your free gift. That's getliverhelp.com/Bill. Okay, so I told you, is the final thought of the day, the ocean out here in eastern Long Island where I am, very turbulent this summer, okay? Not a place to fool around. In fact, you can't even body surf because the waves crash so hard down, you break your back, all right? And then nobody's body surfing. So, and the current is tough, the undertow is tough. That does not inhibit me from dunking in the water because that's what I do. I'm an ocean guy, but I'm not riding the waves and I'm being cautious. So a couple of weeks ago, I got whacked by a wave and I'm like, boom, and that was that. So yesterday I go in and it's turbulent, but I'm very cognizant of Ernest Hemingway's book, The Old Man and the Sea, which is a brilliant book and it's not long. Okay, and since I've always loved the sea, loved the ocean, that was one of my earliest reads. So I'm not the old man in the sea, I'm the aging man. All right, so I'm doing great. I'm bopping up and down. The water temperature is about 74, really nice, okay? But then I have to get out. So I calculate that I can jog out of there before the next big wave comes. No, I get maybe 5 yards from the shoreline and bam, the thing knocks me down. And I had reef shoes on and one of my reef shoes goes flying. And then I try to spring up, but my spring is not as it was when I was a lifeguard. It takes me a little longer. And bam, I get whacked again. So now I'm like this. So a guy runs out, on the beach, goes, hey. And I said, look, I got it. It's so embarrassing. Big macho man, right? And he goes, I got it. I'm fine. So I get up and I walk out. And he goes, oh, it happens to all of us. I go, yeah, I guess so. Probably one of these. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you all this is if you're in the ocean and it's rough, please be careful. All right, even a seasoned guy like me who's been all over the world in the ocean, I thought I could beat that wave out. No. It was a pretty interesting experience. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll have Geraldo on the media tomorrow, and we hope to see you then. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.